Hi, this is Francisco Bujan from vitalcoaching.com. We are talking about dating success for women, and the topic for this video is how to tease guys. You remember that earlier we talked about first dates and ways of breaking the ice, and this is the number one strategy that I think you can apply when you meet a guy. It is really to tease him. Now, when we are talking about teasing him, it doesn't mean exciting him sexually. It means more, challenging verbally in a playful way. Now, what I want to give you in this video is a few tips really to be able to do that in an effective way. When you tease him, you really use humor, you really bring in a sense of lightness, and you manage really to break the ice with him so that you have a light connection with somebody you just met, or a date even that you saw already a few times. It is a way of communicating which is really effective in creating complicity. Now, playfulness is the key word that you want to remember in this kind of dating situations. Remember that you are at least responsible at 50% for what happens in a date situation. The guy you are with will of course influence a date, but if you come to a date with a very clear image, picture, or feeling about what you want, then you are going to be directive and then eventually set the tone for the date. If you tease them, this will of course help them follow you into a direction which is really a good opening for establishing complicity. When you want to tease him, I will tell you a couple of things which are not okay. You don't want to tease a guy on sensitive topics. For instance, if he just lost his job, or if he just got dumped, if he has a weight issue, all these areas are actually sensitive. You don't want to tease a guy on sensitive topics because of course he might get hurt. So on which topics can you tease a guy? Well, you tease him on topics, aspects of his life or personality he's very proud of. So here are some examples. If he has a nice sports car, for instance, you can tell him, are you trying to compensate for something? You will see that when he answers this question, he will try to defend himself. And then you can follow up on a discussion on this specific topic. Once you introduce a teasing direction, then you can follow up with extra questions on that. So if you talk, for instance, about cooking, you can ask him, so can you cook besides boiling a couple of eggs? Here are some more examples. For instance, if he gives you his number, you can say something like, I'll make you regret this. You really look like a serial dater. What's the longest you have been with a woman? Or to a guy who is really good looking, I didn't know guys were into plastic surgery. Wow, they did really a good job on you. Or if it's obvious that he spends lots of time in the gym, you can touch his bicep and say, nice implants. I cannot even see the scar. Once he gives an answer to what you just said, then follow up with another teasing line. The favorite topics to tease him about are his body, especially if he's very good looking or if he trains a lot. Car, we already mentioned that. Profession, for instance, if he makes lots of money or he has a profession he's really proud of. You can really break the ice by teasing him on that and simply not taking him seriously. You see that in the moment you play this kind of game with him, you set up a tone, a direction. Now you can tease a guy with these kind of questions, but of course you can tease him also physically. For instance, you can pinch him. You can tease him as well via body language. For instance, by giving him a flirty look or pretending you are not interested at all. The key word to remember is really playfulness. You might think, well, won't this create some form of superficial connection with somebody? The moment you can use humor with somebody, this creates an instant sense of complicity. Of course, if you never teased the guy before, you might feel a bit challenged by introducing this new behavior or attitude in a date. But the more you practice it, of course, the easier it becomes. Now, the best way to train this skill is to practice with guys who are non-challenging, especially when you are not on a date with them, for instance with a friend at work or colleague, guys that you know already and to who you are not really attracted. Remember that the average guy will be a bit anxious about seeing you at a first date. Now, when you use a teasing line to something he says, you break the ice instantly. That's it for today's tip. Enjoy, take care, and bye-bye.